Okay, this will be interesting if this works. Well, at least the camera works, yeah. Okay. Well, I guess like that. Sadly, the camera can't. Maybe pause. Okay, I think I'm running. Great, I guess you can just do like this. Although, would have liked to have the bigger camera. Of course, I could take the bigger camera. I'm going to read this paper, and which I printed out. And I thought, let's go through it, and before destroying it or annihilating it, and maybe I should just fix the camera a little. Oh well. Let's see if this works on. Let's not screen up. Needs to work. Okay. Great. I had some problems in regard. There's a lot of problems with the new mobile. I guess it's still in beta mode and all that in regard to this. Yes, it's not. The mobile is pretty. It's okay fast in regard to speed compared to some of the others, but so I guess it's not a. Just some things in regards to this mobile that is absolutely, it's one problem after another. But I don't know how they're going to fix all those things. Yeah, well, anyway. So this is a JTCM, Journal of Traditional Chinese Medicine, online submissions, journal, tcm.com, and we have a email address, I guess, info, Snabel Journal, tcm.com, J Traditional Chinese Medicine, 2012, March, according to the Roman pagan calendar, and we have a mechanism clinically, curative effects. Curative means to cure, as far as I recall. So you have, in regards of clinical curative effects, a very interesting word, because that might actually be a word that one could use to search in regards of candida curative or candida albicans curative, in regards of furthering getting those articles you would want in regards of things that are effective against candida or candida albicans, which is the most prevalent fungus that makes havoc in people, and antifungal activities, that means against fungi, against fungus, activities of cinnamon oil and pargostemon. I'm not sure I'm saying that correctly, pargostemon, but pargostemon oil is patchouli, which is the hippie oil, pretty much, that apparently the hippies use to scent themselves, to smell and to relax. It's a relaxing, oil that makes you into this, well, hippie mode in some sense. But anyway, without actually getting, smoking something. Okay, Anyway, so it's just a nice oil to relax and have other, set benefits in regards of against, what is it called, when if you are really really low in some sense, in regards of, it should have a lifting thing, if I recall correctly. Although I must say, it was in the beginning, I felt those, felt the patchouli really working. I must say, I don't really notice these, well, maybe in regards of a little relaxment, maybe, but anyway. Patchouli, so oil complex against 3 species of candida. Now, if we're going to have these species, variants, and kinds, so you have one kind of kinds, right? Where you have different candidas, as I would understand it. Then you have the the species, the so-called species, the different, I guess, in the same kind, but different species of that kind. And then you have the variants of that species. That's how I would put it. So you have the kind, in regards of Candida. You have the species, in regards of Candida albicans, Candida krusei, and Candida, they have one more that they tropicalis. And there's some others, that are up there in regards of human infliction. Well, let's try to put the camera on, by the way. This might be better or might be worse. We'll see. Well, at least it's very, very light. I guess it's something that we need to white balance or something like that. Auto. Oh, so no, so maybe, yeah, okay. There we go. That actually looks not bad, actually. It's actually pretty good. Just a little up here. Yeah, let's see I'll just be back pretty quickly. Let's see here. It seems to be working, so that's good. I don't know if the sound is working. Hopefully it is. Well, no one sees these videos anyway, so so that's just how it is. People don't want the truth, Anyway, Wang Gang Sheng and different Deng Ji Hu and Ma Yo Hu and Ximin and Li Bo. And we also have I'm not sure if it's Chinese or Japanese. Chinese, okay, so it must be Chinese. So Wang Gang Shen, Deng Ji Hu, Ma Yo Hu, Department of Fungus, the second hospital of Hebei Medical University, Haping Silu 215, Xixia Shuang, Hebei 0500000, China SHIMEN, mine, Department of Clinical Laboratory, the second hospital of Hebei Medical University, Hebei, and then again 05000, China Libo, Department of Microbiology. That's in regards to small stuff. It was like which is antimicrobial, like in regards of, I think this would be the the microbiology. All these small stuff things. So if it's what is it called? I can't even remember it anymore. Antimicrobial. It means that it can be against virus, bacteria, fungi, and so forth. I don't know. Did we have bacteria, fungi, viruses, and maybe also parasites? But fungi can also be some kind of parasite. So you have to, But anyway. CDX, but of course parasites we could talk about in regards to worms or something of that nature, right? But yeah, anyway, CCR's Huang Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CCR's Huang 050011 China correspondence to Deng Ji Hu, Department of Fungus, the second hospital of Hebei Medical University, Heping Silu 215 Xiyak Shuang, Hebei 05000, China DJH092, snabelay163.com, telephone number and plus 86 0311 and 66002375, accepted November 22, 2011. I guess we didn't really need to read that. Okay, just whatever. I guess they just some information they need to have on, I guess. So let's move forward. Abstract. The anti-fungus, against the thing that is against the fungus mechanisms and curative effects. Curative, to cure effects of cinnamon oil and pogostemon. I should just call it patchouli, really. But patchouli, the hebe oil, that's usually what you see. It's known as patchouli. And patchouli oil complexes towards intestinal candida infections were investigated. So this is in regards of pretty much from mouth to butthole, pretty much. So that that would be considered what's it called? It's, diflucan is systemic, and then we have the local. That's what they use, local. So if you use it from mouth to butthole, it's known as local. So nystatin works, which is one of the medical mafia's medicines against fungus, works from mouth to butthole. And diflucan, or it's also known as something or other. Some of these are known as multiple names. They just give it a name. But anyway, diflucan is known as a systemic antifungal remedy. So it's going all over the body to kill fungi. So if you have a systemic condition, you would of course need something that is systemic to kill all those critters, this monster. So the antifungus mechanism and curative effects of cinnamon oil and patchouli oil complexes towards intestinal candida infections were investigated. And that's, okay. I had hoped that they would also have understood if it also worked systemic, but I guess the oil should, be absorbed, because these oil particles are very, very small, and they, as far as my research go, they can also enter the, behind the brain barrier. So if you have fungus or cancer in the brain or whatever, it should be able to get there, as far as I can see, and to do some havoc. As I understand it, many of these essential oils work by being, going through the barrier that the fungi have, and then beginning to make havoc from the inside, which of course makes havoc for the fungi that can't produce the chitin or whatever it's called, and then it ends up being destroyed. There's a lot of things, I can't remember everything, but I think that was the way that it worked. So you have multiple ways of, when you use different remedies against the fungi, if you use multiple remedies, they can work together to take out the fungi. So I remember taking two different, I took the diflucan and I took something else that was to support the diflucan. So even if the fungi had become resistant to diflucan, it would still fail because of the other remedy that was a natural remedy that I can't remember, which I can't. I'm trying so many other things and whatever. Anyway, so towards internal candida infections were investigated. We measured the minimal inhibitory concentration, the MIC. That is the concentration, how much it that stops its growth. And then they have something else that is talking about killing the fungi. But anyway, they usually use the MIC for minimal inhibitory concentration and all that. It's very hard to read these scientific things. It's always good to have. And by the way, I can show you that. It's always good to have. Let's see here. Program, where is it here? Okay, that's a good question. Heavens, what is it? Christian Heavens program, that dictionary. That it's always good to have medical book, and this is Stedman's, which apparently you can do it on one side here. But Stedman's, let's see, about, no, help, no, we just need to have about. This is a Stedman's Medical Dictionary, 28th edition, 26 days left of the trial period. But you can try it for a month, and that's what I've been, last time I did a, lot of digging into a lot of this. This was very nice to use this dictionary. So Stedman's Medical Dictionary, you can just try out for 30 days. If you want to get into what they're actually writing, you can also search on some of the terms and get some understanding on that. But anyway, we measured the minimal inhibitory concentration, MIC, again, they use MIC. They use it very a lot. I don't even. Thinking. As I understand, I'm not even sure how that actually. Because there are so many other factors. So even if you try to do these things in regards to the minimum inhibitory concentration, all that, you have a lot of other factors if you're actually taking it in the body. And that you have those two Latin terms in vivo and in vitro, and I can't remember which one is in the body. I think, but I should probably just look that up. But anyway, one of them is in the body, one of them is in the test tube. Okay. Values of the complexes against candida using proportional diluted test tube medium, and examining the evolution of the morphological and structures of candida albicans using scanning electronic microscopy (SEM) and transmission electronic microscopy (TEM. We found that the average MIC values of the complexes against the fungi were 0.064 milligram per milliliter cinnamon oil and 0.032 milligram per milliliter of patchouli oil for candida albicans. So we have 0.129 milligram per milliliter cinnamon oil and 0.064 milligram per milliliter patchouli oil for Candida tropicalis and 0.129 milligram per milliliter cinnamon oil and 0.064 milligram per milliliter patchouli oil for Candida krusei. So does it really say much? I guess you can get some information from seeing, how powerful they are, or if they don't do anything at all. Because if they don't do anything, then of course you wouldn't use it, right? But anyway, but then again, you have all these factors that the medical system, so-called medical, those alternative bullshitters, that they actually tend to not, instead of just looking at what works, we need to know how it works and this and that before it really works. And of course, we also need to, be able to patent it and all that. They're keeping us away from the natural things, things that people knew in the past, where they used, herbs and such things as medicine in their food, It was not only for the taste, it was also for the health benefits, anyway. So, for keeping yourself healthy, SEM examination, and if you can see something working, then it's just, working, of course. You don't need to know all the details of how it works and this and that and all that. Hey, if it works, it works. You don't need all those, ways of how it works. As long as it works, But they kept away all the. They've actually not only kept it away, they have scared the people away from it with all their bullshit propaganda in regard to the dangers of natural ways to keep healthy and natural ways to keep sickness away. And then they come with all their alternative bullshit medicine. How do they, fix cancer? Cancer, which is a fungal infection. Oh yeah, let's burn the person, right? With radiation, right? And let's give them some poison in regards of chemotherapy. And if we can always chop off a breast or whatever. It's insane. It's absolutely alternative medicine, and they're murdering people. They're murderers. These people are bullshitters and murderers of people, and they're keeping away this golden egg of theirs, and they're murdering us. And it's just, and of course, in regards to all these things, in regards to the vaccines and all that, it's nothing new that they're hurting us, because they've been doing it for a long, long time, and they've just pretty much been allowed to do it. It's disgusting. It's disgusting to think about how much suffering and how much death these people have done to us. But hey, people don't care. Hey, we know if he has a white coat and a long education in antibiotics, which is actually poison from fungi, which actually, higher your risk of a fungal infection like cancer. But anyway, it's just bullshit all. We have so much bullshit in the world. Anyway, I'm sick and tired of it. I had to go and research and all these for 20 years or something like that to figure out, and I'm still researching, just still researching. Just, fungal infection, it could have been taken care of really easily, I think, in the beginning. I could have annihilated the fungi if I'd known what I knew today, But no help at all. Just let the fungi grow in your body. Hey, that's no problem with you, guy. You just need to go out and work and all that. Everything will be fine. Yeah, that's bullshit. If you have a problem, that's the reason why you go to So these incompetent white coat murderers and butchers and all that. So much suffering there, and then you get into other problems, right? One problem takes another, and and you just pain, suffering all the time, right? It's not the life quality goes totally down, It's like incredible. Anyway, so let's see here. Okay, so just some tips in regards to if you have a fungal infection, some itching that doesn't go away and comes and goes and all that. Okay, quit alcohol, quit sugar, and stop taking antibiotics. If that's that's three good of the pointers that they're pretty much just promoting and priming us for a fungus infection. Drinking sugar, right? Sugar, soda pop, right? Sugar pop. And alcohol, every single common, sugar and alcohol, And the foods they're just taking away all the nutrition away from us, and we can't even get natural milk, because milk is so dangerous, Milk that hasn't gotten a Holocaust treatment is just so dangerous. Well, if there's something wrong with the milk coming out of the animal, maybe you're treating the animal wrong. Maybe you're, giving them so-called medicine that is also, promoting bullshit, and maybe you're stuffing the animals in small spaces, and maybe you're giving them a wrong diet, Maybe you're pushing the animals to the limit of milk production. Quantity, above quality. And then afterwards, when there's something wrong with the milk, you just give it a Holocaust treatment and destroy enzymes, vitamins, bacteria, good bacteria. And then, it's insanity. It's absolutely outrageous insanity. That's what it is. But hey, alcohol, no problem. Get alcohol everywhere, Anyway, let's see. So an alcohol, of course, is poison from fungi. Anyway, it's also immune suppressing, and immune suppressing. And I think antibiotic is all, but of course that's also mycotoxin. And mycotoxin is fungal poison or poison from fungi. Because sometimes when I say, people say, oh, it is all, yeah, no, okay. It's poison from fungi, mycotoxin as they call it. One of these bullshit words they use so you don't know what it is, And if you go to the food administrations in Denmark, they say, mycotoxins can, for example, give you cancer. If you are exposed to small amounts of mycotoxins over a longer period, you could, for example, get cancer. And then, of course, you read in the other article, this article here, this paper, that actually, and which I also would have thought, because that's, in regards of understanding how the fungi would, of course, want the babies to survive, that actually mycotoxins and these, what is it called? Let's see here. And the spores actually goes hand in hand. Let's see, I think I actually found it. The spores, which the toxins are primarily associated with, are cast off in blooms that vary with the mold's seasonal and life cycle stage. So you get the fungi or the spores, which is the babies of the, of the guys of the fungi, and you get the toxins because then the toxins can make havoc and thereby, the fungi have a better chance that the baby survives. So here and the relation to the okay. Something, if I recall correctly, that mycotoxins are volatile organic compounds, and you have the mobile that actually can actually record volatile compounds, although they use it for other things. But I would think that maybe it could actually also be used to check maybe in regards to fungi. But anyway, I haven't tested it. I don't know, but it's incredible how much time you have to do to dig into things. Anyway, so why did we get here, TM? We found that the average MI, we already had that for candida and all that, and tropicalis. So we have the candida albicans, candida tropicalis, and candida krusei. SEM examination over a 24 to 48 hour period showed that the morphology of candida albicans changed significantly. Irregular hollows appeared on the surfaces, inside organelles were destroyed, and so understand this inside, gut thing, that they have inside. And the cells burst after treatment. Oh, we like that. Kill the fungi. Yeah, we like that. Eradicate the fungi. Oh, by the way, I do actually have, where's my, I had my water somewhere. I'll just, 2 seconds, see if I can find it. Oh yeah. Actually, it might be, but the glass is better to actually show in regards of the oils. So in this little bottle, this little water bottle, there's essential oils. And these but you can't really, it's actually pretty, it's really hard to see any. But sometimes you can actually see the bubbles of the essential oils in the water after you're shaking it. But this, of course I did put it in yesterday. I don't know in regard to these plastic bottles if they can go along with, but it looks like they're doing pretty good. But this is a bottle from sterile water as well, so hopefully it will, we'll have no problem in regards to the essential oils. But yeah, it doesn't really look like there's many bubbles. It looks like it's diffused in the water pretty good or something. I'm lacking the word. But usually when oil and water doesn't go hand in hand and all that. But this looks like it's really looking like it's pretty good. And of course, if you're afraid that it might not be totally, you just give it a shake more and it will shake up the oil in the water, and then you can just drink it. That's good. It's good. And this is something I'm trying out at the moment. Mostly the cinnamon, 50% cinnamon, 10% patchouli, and then 10% mint, 10% oreganos, 10% clove oil, and 10% ginger oil. So you have 6 oil in this little thing, and it's not tasting bad. It's tasting okay. I must say, tasting cinnamon oil for itself is the best, and that's also the reason why I have 50% cinnamon oil in it. I might have put too many drops in this, but I put 10 drops in it. But anyway, you don't need much, you don't need much to make it taste, and so the water also gets some flavoring, and of course it's antifungal, and you would then be able to get some fungal things every single day, over the day, But anyway, it's heavy stuff, so just be careful. might try out, the different oils first before you. There's a lot of oils that is not so good to ingest as far as I've tried out. I've tried 30 to 40 essential oils internally, and two of them just made me feel totally poisoned for a longer period of time. That wasn't good. You don't want you don't want that. But yeah. Anyway, let's go forward here. That's my medicine I'm trying at the moment, and I'll just keep on going with that. Although I did hurt my throat because of stupid, and I 2 days I got all these essential oils, and it's hard to keep your hands away from it when you get it, right? So 2 days I was trying and tasting them um, without actually. You could do also. I have been thinking that you could also, if you wanna make it less concentrated, you could put maybe some olive oil. So you have half olive oil and then you have the essential oils or something like that. So just to take it a little off. Although I'm not sure how much it actually will do in the water, because it will be. I don't know how much they attach to each other and all that, but of course, if it could make it, well, you would get less in the bottle itself if you actually, 10 drops would be then, less than it was before. But yeah, I don't know, olive oil is also said to be antifungal. Some also says that you can use this vitamin C liquid. I haven't tried that, but they say it's a wonderful, thing for essential oils to put essential oils in. Maybe that would be also with a. Anyway, I don't know, but there's a lot of things to, of course, further try out and research and all that. Anyway, now I have so many other problems after 20 years, and I'm not sure in regards to my back that I'll see if I can solve them, but. I've had some back problems for a long, long time after I bashed my back into the wall. That was so bad. Already had back problems, but not in regards of, it was not, of course it was hurting here and there sometimes, but it wasn't like so as bad as now after, fixing into a wall with full speed. Anyway. So SEM examination over 24 to 24 or 48-hour period, so 1 to 2 days, showed that the morphology of candida albicans cells changed significantly. Irregular hollows appeared on the surface. Yeah. Inside organelles were destroyed. Yeah. And the cells burst after treatment. Yeah! Go get them. Anyway. TEM examinations over 48 to 72 hours period indicated that the cell walls were damaged. Yeah, cell walls were damaged. Organelles were destroyed, as far as I understand. Organelles are things inside the fungi, like kind of organs in humans, I guess. And most cytoplasm became empty bubbles, and I guess cytoplasm might be, I guess, the shielding that it makes in regards to, I'm not sure, in regards to the chitin or something like that. I'm not sure if that's, but they have this defense, this chitin defense, and as I understand it, that's some of the things that the essential oils can destroy is the things that makes the fungi able to make. So it ends up being, hurt on so many levels, and of course if it can't put up its defenses and make this chitin, then it will lose out, or at least will make its chances less of surviving. Anyway, I can't, they use all these big words, and of course we could look them up on the mobile. We could go into, if we can figure out here. And then we can say cytoplasm, right? Cytoplasm. There we go. Let's see here. The substance of the protoplasm of a cell, exclusive of the nucleus, which contains various organelles and inclusions. So here we also have organelles, and inclusions. See also protoplasm, hyaloplasm, and cytosol. Plasm thing formed, so plasm thing formed. Okay. Anyway, I don't know how much. Of course, one could check also on the internet. But organelles, as I understand it, was things inside the fungi, and thereby, because again the it's something in regards of the essential oils in regards to the fungi, that when you have essential oils outside the fungi, it will seep through and get inside the fungi. Can't remember what they called it. I think it's like when you have something, where it's not in the other medium and it moves through the. I can't remember. Anyway, one of the specialized parts of the protozoan or tissue cell. These subcellular units include mitochondria. That's the main thing that makes energy, isn't it? I'm not sure. The Golgi apparatus nucleus and centrioles, granular and agranular, endoplasmic reticulum, vacuoles, microsomes, lysosomes, plasma membrane, and certain fibrils, as well as plastids of plant cells. Whatever. Okay, I don't know how much we got more of, but anyway, one can search on the internet as well for these things. So 60 external candida infection patients were treated. So this is again mouth to butthole pretty much. Well, I guess they're using capsules so they wouldn't get it in the top. But of course, when I'm using this, I'll start at the mouth. You just fix it around your mouth and then drink it. Some use essential oils as a mouthwash, but here you don't need to think about that. You just drink the thing and kill whatever is in the mouth, and of course you get a good breath as well, So anyway, 60 external candida infected patients were treated with a capsule containing cinnamon and patchouli oil. There we go with the curative ratio, the thing in regards of cure. The curative ratio was 71.67%. That would be 43 people out of 60 was cured from candida in the gut. So I don't know how much in regard to the essential oils and all that. Now, of course, when they have taken these pills with oils, you can usually take more because you swallow it, so it only opens up down in the stomach, and so you don't get the problem of actually, while you're ingesting it in regard to the throat so you could pretty much take higher doses. I don't know how big doses they actually took in regards of getting it to work all throughout the gut. Apparently it cured them from any candida in the gut, and that's pretty amazing. If you have a curative ratio of 71.67%. Now the question is, does it also work systemically? And I think it does, but anyway, this test, of course, is in regards of the intestinal, the gut, I guess would be a word that is as good as, intestinal. So anyway, 43 out of 60, and the improvement ratio was 28.33%. That would be 17 out of the 60. So you have 43 people being cured after. I'm not actually sure how long I think it was around 3 days that they took it. So that's pretty fast. If you can kill the fungi in the gut so quickly, at least at least you will get the gut. Then of course, if you have the fungi in the body, that's the problem, of course. And the improvement ratio was 28.33%, 17 out of 60. So you have all of the 60 patients had positive results, giving a total ratio of 100%. Thus, the cinnamon oil and the patchouli oil complexes, they call it complex, I don't know why complexes, oil complexes, had strong antifungus effect against Candida albicans, Candida tropicalis, and Candida cruzi. So these three, which as far as I recall are on the top list in regards of, Candida albicans being the top number one. Then you have Candida tropicalis and Candida cruzi. But it depends, of course, in regards of where you are in the world. You have somewhat of differences in regards of what people have issues with. But you have 5 to 7 or something like that of fungi that, of Candida that is really up there. They impacted the morphological and submicrostructures of the fungus within 48 to 72 hours, 2 to 3 days. And eventually, denatured, that's one of these big words again, denatured, I guess, changed and killed the cells. Okay, denatured. Maybe we should look in the denatured, for that in regards of, it's just sad that we need to do the doctor's work because they're actually blinded to this, because this is the golden egg, they're just blowing to the smoke. They don't wanna, let's see, okay, make unnatural or change from the normal in any of its characteristics, often applied to proteins or nucleic acid, heated or otherwise treated to the point where tutorial struck. Well, anyway, so the characteristics are changed, and that's pretty much what I thought it would be. So that's great. So it, eventually changed and killed the cells. So they impacted the morphological and submicrostructures of the fungus within 48 to 72 hours, and eventually denatured or some whatever you always say it, and killed the cells, and eventually changed and killed the cells. Yeah, great. The complexes have also shown considerable curative effect to intestinal candida infections. Yeah. The complexes, I guess, in regards of cinnamon and patchouli. Now again, cinnamon doesn't really change your how you feel. Patchouli can change how you feel. You can become more like, relaxed when you take the patchouli. Anyway, keywords. We have JTCM, all rights reserved. I guess it's copyright bullshit as always. As I say, copyright is of the devil, But anyway, keywords, Pargastemon. I was looking for these quotations from former Protestants, and I finally found a place where I could actually download the whole thing in regards to wording and all. Of course, it's better than nothing, right? But I couldn't copy paste it, So give me a break. So I will have to write it all out. It's not I can do that, of course, but it's just, I'm sick and tired of all these can't copy, and then when you copy something, it totally ruins and then it sometimes it's just doing all the things that you don't want. That's pretty much what computers are, Everything that you don't want them to do, they begin to do, because the programmers are insane and controlled by the devil and all that. And everything you just want the computer to do, they don't want to have it to do, because it has to be very annoying for the user, as much as they can do it. Anyway, I'm just sick and tired of it all. There was one Windows system that was just wonderful. That was called Windows 2000. From Windows 2000, it was just downhill. And they do it on purpose, That's the sad part of it. They do it on purpose. Now put all that bullshit spyware and advertising. Yeah, how could we ever accept to have advertising in a system, you know? I installed this, what it was called, Windows 10 or something, I think it was Windows 10, and asking you in regards of advertising, you know, what? Hey, I bought a computer with a, I didn't buy a advertising bullshit machine, okay? Anyway, of course I didn't want Windows 10, but of course they've done so many things, so it's really, very hard to install Linux on it. And of course you couldn't install Windows 7, you know, because that's just... And of course Windows 7 is bullshit anyway, but at least it's better than all the, you know, the Windows 7, Windows 10. Anyway, keywords: Pogostemon oil and cinnamon oil complex, candida antifungal activity, and curative effect. These are the keywords apparently. Okay. Introduction. The fungus infection have increased rapidly in recent years. Well, not if you ask the doctors, it seems, you know, those white coat murderers. But it's the same, you know, you always, oh, fungus can't be the problem, blah, blah, blah. It's only when it's really, really, really in the end of your life that they begin to, you know, look at it. It's just bullshit, you know. Anyway, you know, you're going to be nearly thrown out if you ask the white coat murderer, you know, about antifungal, antimycology or mycology, I can't remember, whatever, you know, anti-fungus, okay, against fungus, you know. If you ask the doctor, you know, for something against fungus, he might just kick you out. They're not too happy about it. They have all the antibiotics, which are poison from fungus, you know. Anyway, deep fungus infection have increased rapidly in recent years. Yeah, who one wonders, why would that be? Well, it couldn't be because they're actually totally priming us to get an infection and then hurting us so they can get their blood money out of us. Anyway, most fungus infections are caused by candida germ. So most fungus infections are caused by candida germ. You have some others as well, but anyway. Mainly candida albicans. Yep, number one. Mainly candida albicans, and to a lesser extent candida tropicalis and candida cruzi. Now if you look at the things and different places in the world, some of them are a little different in regards of but you know, on how much percent in regards of fungal infections or no. No, so they have a word for you know, when it's bad for you, but I can't remember. It's called something. Anyway, the death rate from these infections can reach 30 to 60%, and they have all the, you know, 4 and 5, and you can go look at 4 and 5 somewhere, I guess. 4 and 5, Edmond, MB, and they, and nosocomial bloodstream infections, and investigation on fungal infections of 34 cases in hospital. So you have all the, you know, the what is it called? Footnotes. That's interesting. They actually put the footnotes on the last page. I guess that might not be a, yeah, okay. That's a way to do it at least. Unfortunately, few antifungus medicines are available for treating fungus infections. Yeah, they have around 7. Diflucan being one of them, which is also called something else, I can't remember at the moment. And you have nystatin, which is local, Diflucan, systemic, and then you have some of the other azoles medicines. But you don't have that many. And of course, the fungi can become resistant to these, you know. Unfortunately, so you actually have a so-called medical system that promotes fungal infection and don't really have that many remedies against it. Yep. The death rate from these infections can reach 30 to 60%. Unfortunately, few antifungus medicine are available for treating fungus infections. Not to mention that most of them have serious side effects. Now, I'm not sure in regards to those serious side effects, but they also have one antifungal for EV, you know, IV, you know, for directly into the body, called something, I can't remember. Anyway, in regards to serious side effects, I don't know about that. Um, um, of course, the fungi will be, if you have a fungal infection and you take antifungal, the fungi will, you kick the lion, So you kick the lion because it's going to be a bloodbath for it, But of course, it can become resistant. But yeah, it's so. So they say that diflucan, for example, can hurt the liver and all that. Um, I don't know about it. I'm no white coat murderer and all that. But as far as I could see, I wasn't really afraid of that. As far as I could, and I took huge doses. I think when people actually get some issues, there might actually be some of the other medications that they might be taking that actually is the issue for those things. But of course, if they can say that you need to have your liver number checked and all that, it's money, 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 because you will need to go and have a blood draw and all that so they can get the, it's all money for them. Your money, you just empty us from resources. But that's one of the things that they are really afraid of, that these antifungals can do damage to the liver. The same thing with the cinnamon. They use the same bullshit nonsense with the cinnamon. If you take too much cinnamon, you will hurt your liver. So how many studies have you actually done on humans on that level? Have you ever heard about anyone dying of taking too much cinnamon? Yeah, well, and if you're taking too much cinnamon, you have to take the real cinnamon and not the fake cinnamon. It's not a fake cinnamon, it's bullshit. They're both cinnamon, they're just different variants of cinnamon. Now, the Case's variant actually has multiple versions of those, but, it's cinnamon. And actually, the so-called fake one is actually the best of them. And by the way, that's the one they make medicine from. That's this, what is it called? Curarim? I can't remember. The thing that they actually say is, damaging and all that. They actually make medicine out of that. But hey, they rather want to get you to buy the medicine than just to not take, some cinnamon, It's just incredible. Anyway. And the medicine they make out of this, in regards of the cinnamon, is blood thinning medicine. Because you couldn't just take some cinnamon, maybe, and have the same effect and actually get some bonuses. And anyway, it's, sick and tired of the bullshitters, So that actually is the same. That's the same thing they use in regards to, those animals, Well, I'm not an animal. And by the way, what else did you give those animals while you fed them with, cinnamon? Because, it would be nice to know. Because sometimes those, testing, they're dishonest, Dishonest. I remember something in regards of, red meat gives you cancer. Well, the thing is, the test that they did in regards of saying that, red meat gives you cancer and all that, was that they actually gave the mice, I think, mice or rats, that they actually gave those, animals actually something on the sidelines that actually is cancer promoting, which is, by the way, a fungal infection, so that would be a fungus promotion. So, but then they give, the red meat. The red meat? Anyway, and by the way, what did they do with the animals? If there's some problems with the red meat, what did they do to the animals? Yeah, well, there we go. Anyway, there's just so much bullshit in this world. I remember that pyramid where meat at the top of the pyramid. You shouldn't eat too much meat. You shouldn't eat too much eggs and fish and all that. That's just no go and all that. And then you in the bottom, you have all the promotion of fungal infections. Like it's incredible they didn't have alcohol or something like that. Anyway, but you have all the sugary foods at the bottom. That's what you need to eat. Okay. Well. I think that pyramid needs to be turned upside down. In regards of those things that don't have any sugar, because fungus love sugar. Anyway, let's go forward. It's just incredible how much they have ruined us on so many levels, and we trust these guys. We trust these guys, right? Why would they lie to us? Yeah, well, money, money, money. So depraved, so disgusting, so diabolical. It's so wicked. It's so saddening to think about how many people they're hurting. And then of course they got the women out of the kitchen. And then we lost all the, sensible things in regard to that. Who's going to cook anymore? Who's going to, know that these are good, sources of food? And if the woman is sick, well, children is going to be sick. And if and then of course the husband is also going to be sick. And if the husband is sick, he's going to become weak. And if he's weak, the devil just goes in and ruins the whole family. There we go. The devil does his deed. And he has done a lot of really bad things. It's like, why would women who hate men want to be men? It's insanity. It's psychological I don't know if I'm rude. It's just nonsense. You gotta be kidding me. And but the man is then going to be home and all. Well, the man is not the one that is going to go with a child. And if you want 15 children or more or whatever, you're going to have to, and if you want, you have to have someone actually, fixing in regards to the health, So you take out the woman of the household, and there you go. You get sick. And sickness is money, money, money. You go to the, both parents come home, right, and both of them are tired and all that. And what do? Well, let's just go and buy some crappy food. Yeah. Anyway, so for treating fungus infection, not to mention most of them have serious side effects. But anyway. So of course I would always go to natural things, but when I looked up in regards to diflucan and I was searching things out and all that and just getting an idea of things and listening to different people on it, I came to the conclusion, okay, I'm not really afraid of any. And it seems like if people have had some problem with the liver, it's usually when they take other things, as well. So the question is it actually the fungal medicine, or is it in regards to diflucan at least, or is it really just something else? Like the antibiotic and all that, which can be immune suppressing and all that. And we don't want to immune suppress our system. We want the immune system to, as long as we're not, having another organ from another person or something like that. We want our immune system to be strong and able to attack and whatnot, But of course, in our days, we don't have an immune system, apparently, according to the white coat bullshitters and all the propaganda, right? You need to have a vaccine, right? Pandemic, actually. Virus vaccines, yeah. And bullshitters. But anyway, tasting pretty good. I can feel the mint. I can absolutely taste the cinnamon. Although I do like the cinnamon alone by itself. But it's to get all the to get multiple antifungals into my body and so forward. And you can easily have it with you. I have like a small bottle, But anyway, I'm still on the trial testing thing and all that. Still battling the fungi, It's a monster, It's a monster, When you had something for at least 20 years that just runs around in your body and no one is going to help you, and you're standing alone, it's ripping your teeth out, You're just totally on your own. What was that? and then they will actually attack you. Oh, it's not. No. You have no problems. You have no problems. Yeah, okay. So it's just itching just for fun, right? You gotta be kidding me. Anyway. Oh, but it's up here apparently. You need to have some happy pills. Which is called what is called psychotropic pills. Yeah, with a lot of side effects. What? You think that a person that has some issues might it would be natural for a person to have some issues that he doesn't feel like you gotta be kidding me. What is this? What is wrong with these bullshitters? Well, money. Working for, they are professional drug dealers. Professional drug dealers. I don't know why the police are going for the, those, the police are going after those, what do you call it, unprofessional drug dealers. What do you call it? Uneducated drug dealers and all that. And of course, some of these drugs can also hurt you in regards of. But I'm thinking like, hey, well, what about the professional drug dealers? The politicians are promoting drugs, these disgusting, wicked, filthy things. The state overall is promoting it. And the white coat murderers, they're working together, it seems. It's just a disgusting, filthy system. Anyway, let's go. Sorry, I'm sick and tired. I'm angry at the point how they hurt people. I'm angry at that. It's so disgusting. It's so depraved. It's so filthy that any human would do that to another human being. Anyway, because of this, it has been difficult to control deep fungus infection. There we go in regard. Okay, unfortunately, few antifungal medicines are available for treating fungus infections. Not to mention that most of them have serious side effects. Because of this, it has been difficult to control deep fungus infection, and we have a footnote in regards to number 6. Let's see what he refers to. No, that was actually wasn't that the same that, no, that was 4 and 5. Oh, maybe I made a mistake on that. See here, 4 and 5. Yeah, that's in regards to invasive aspergillosis in critical ill patients without malignancy. Oh, that's in regards of, that's been the Patchouli SJ. Society of Jesus? I don't know. Anyway, the Jesuits are everywhere. But anyway, SJ is something they usually use for, it might be a Jesuit institution, I don't know. But 4 and 5, which is in regards of the invasive aspergillosis and the nosocomial bloodstream infection, actually in regards of the last 4 and 5, and then number 6, which I read, in regards of investigation on fungal infections of 34 cases in hospital, is actually number 6 in regards. So I made a mistake here. So the death rate from these infections can reach 30 to 60%, and the footnote 4 and 5 was actually those invasive aspergillosis and nosocomial bloodstream infection. Nosocomial, I can't remember what that actually overall. I think it's something hospital sickness actually, if I recall correctly. Let's just check it, right? I think it actually is a hospital infection. The thing is, when you go off this topic, you forget a lot of things. When I read some of the things that I was writing when I was really deep in this, I'm like thinking, wow, this guy really is deep in it, but then, but you don't notice that yourself relating to hospital. There we go. But you don't, but then of course you need to take a break at some point. You can't just, of course you could, but I have so many other things to research and so it's there's so many lies out there. I guess the worst thing really at the, I guess I'm getting more control over the fungi. The problem is, I guess, my back now. My back is probably the thing that is annoying me most, although it's, different, sometimes it's this and sometimes it's that, one problem sometimes takes over another, it's just, continual and continual thing in regards of pain and suffering, right? Anyway, unfortunately, few antifungal medicines available for treating fungus infection, not to mention most of them have serious side effects. Because of this, it has been difficult to control deep fungus infection. Fundamental research to develop, well, maybe it's because, you took all those antifungal products and just down the trash because we can't patent them, Anyway, because they're natural and they actually hurt our business model and all that, right? Because of this, it has been difficult to control deep fungus infection. Fundamental research to develop effective Chinese antifungal medicine with low side effects has therefore attracted wide interest. To this end, we measured the extracorporeal minimal inhibitory concentration, the MIC, values of Chinese medicine complexes against 3 types of candida: Candida albicans, Candida tropicals, Candida cruzi. We studied the morphological and submicrostructure evolution of 3 types of candida using scanning electronic microscopy, SEM, and transmission electronic microscopy, TEM. We also analyzed, the thing is, maybe I should just read this thing, sorry. We also analyzed the data obtained from real cases of treatment of intestinal or gut candida infection. This study was approved by the appropriate ethics in regards to intestinal, as far as, that's the gut, right? I think gut is probably better, intestinal. I don't know if it's a Latin term, intestinal, haven't checked it out, but I would think God, God, the gut, Anyway, treatment of intestinal candida infection. This study was approved by the appropriate ethics committees and was performed in accordance with the ethical standard laid down in the Declaration of Helsinki. All persons signed their informed consent prior to their inclusion in the study. Okay, so the thing is that I wanted to say before was that the medical mafia is based on the Roman system. The Roman system had Latin in regard to the Bible. People couldn't read the Bible. People couldn't understand the Bible because most people didn't know Latin, and the Bible was in Latin. You see, the Roman Catholic institution is not Christian. The Roman Catholic institution is pagan satanic bullshit with the high pagan priest of Satanism at the top, the bridge builder, the Pontifex Maximus, the Roman King of Kings, and all that bullshit. Anyway, he's the Antichrist of the number 666. The same system in regards of the medical mafia using Latin and Greek words so we, the people, cannot understand. So they have one thing is that hard to get the material first hand for the people. Now, if you sort out that you can actually get access to the documents and all that, then afterwards you need to decipher all these words, So even if you get access to these researchers and all that, you have to be able to decipher what they actually said. Because they use all these Greek and Latin terms and small short terms like MIC, And if you don't know what MIC means or many of the others, if they just write it in the article and don't write the full extent of it, it's hard to, it's a little hard to understand what they are, going for, But the thing is, when they use these experiments outside the body and they find out, oh, this is so and so effective, and so the MIC, or the others in regards to how when there is anticidal or what is called antifungal side or whatever it's called, then you have to remember that what is going outside and going on outside might not be the same things that is going to go on in the inside. But anyway, but yeah, it's disgusting how they did the same thing as the Roman Catholic maniac institution. Now, of course, it's, everything seems to be connected in regards to the Roman world order, because that's what is forming around us in regards to the Jesuits who well, the Counter-Reformation. They're the pinnacle, pinnacle sharpness, pinnacle edge of the Counter-Reformation. The Reformation gave us the Bible so we could read it in our own tongue, and the Roman Catholic, pagan, satanic, bullshit religion of theirs totally, attacked. And it's the system of the devil. Anyway, it's the tares, it's the poisonous tares, the darnel, the wolves in sheep clothing. Anyway, shouldn't go too much on that. I can feel my nose that I've been speaking too long because my nose is getting a little blocked. It happens that it blocks up down, behind when I speak all the time. So this is not because I'm sick or anything like that. It's just because that happens when I talk all the time. Materials. Okay, we have the materials here. Cinnamon oil and patchouli oil, complex capsules. So again, they use capsules. Were provided by pharmaceutical factory Hebei Medical University, Hayung, China, lot number 020103. What is it called? The line that I can't remember. But 0201 and then a line and 03. Oh, here we go with the diflucan. That's the other word. Fluconazole capsules. That's diflucan. Another word for, whatever. It's some of the companies sells the same drug under different names. Anyway, fluconazole capsules were provided by Shanghai Sunvi Pharmaceutical Company Ltd. I'm not sure what the Shanghai, China. Lot number 0201013. Oh, sorry, 06. Sorry, 0201016. Test strains were provided by Fungus Room Dermatology Department. I think dermatology is the skin department or something like that. I think it is, but I might be wrong. But then again, why not just say skin department if that's the case? Why say dermatology? I don't know. Let's just check it out, so I'm not going to say something wrong. And if I'm saying something wrong, I'm sorry. I'm trying the best that I can with what I know, okay? I'm not a white coat butcher, okay? I'm not a brainwashed or brain defiled, actually. Brain defiled white coat butcher. That's not me. I'm just a person having tried to get my health back. Yeah, here we go. Skin and the branch of medicine concerned with the study of the skin, diseases of the skin, and the relationship of the cutaneous lesions to systemic disease. Oh, okay. Anyway, skin diseases as far as they call it, skin things. Yeah, well, whatever. The second hospital of Hebei Medical University says Xiaohong, China. These strains were isolated from the specimens of stools and sputums. I don't know what sputums is. Of fungal infected patients. So sputums. I have to check what sputums is. Let's just go back here. Sputum. Although the sense of the Latin word, there we go with the Latin, right? But anyway, a word includes spittle or saliva. In medical uses, sputum refers to secretions expelled from the lower respiratory tract. That sounds like in regards to the lungs or something like that. The lowest part of the lungs or something like that. Anyway, so These strains were isolated from the specimens of stools and sputums of fungal infected patients. So I guess down in the lungs, at the lowest parts of the lungs, I guess maybe, and stools in regards of turd, yeah, anyway, so all strains were virulent. There we go. I think virulent was the word I was looking for more. I don't know. Actually, I think oops, that might not have been so good. Hopefully it didn't stop the recording. I'll have to check that. Of course, we have tried where it just stopped the recording. See here, fungus patient, virulent. I think at least one of the words of saying that it's, damaging, virulent. Let's see. A virulent? Why do we not have virulent? Virulent. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. As far as, extremely toxic, denoting of markedly pathogenic microorganism. Okay. Poisonous. Okay. There's another word in malicious or something like that. Regards of malignine or something like that. I don't know. But they, virulent, large amount of mycelium and blastospore can be seen under the microscope. That's in regards to the fungi, making all the, the things and the spores and all that. So this is a virulent, so I guess poisonous, apparently. And were cultured and identified as Candida albicans, 30 strains. And were cultured and identified as Candida, 30 strains. So they have 30 strains that they have, looked at as Candida albicans, and Candida tropicalis, 20 strains, and Candida crucii, 20 strains. And again, I guess these strains can be different from one another. Standard Candida albicans, Candida tropicalis, and Candida crucii were provided by the Institute of Microbiology, Chinese Academy of Science, Beijing, China. And I'll just check if the recording is still ongoing. Well, I'll just take a pee break. I'll be right back in 2 minutes, and then I'll just check if the thing is recording. Okay, it's still recording. I'll just mix some more water, and I'll be right back. So, you have water. That's an essential oils. My thing here. Yeah. And this is the maybe doesn't seem that there's that much left, original. No, no. Oh, we got a little longer. Oh well. Okay. So now at the moment it's just the oil is just laying on the top of the water. I don't know if you can see that. That's probably a little hard to see. But it's laying there. You can see the, yeah, there you can see it's just laying there, the oil. And what we're just going to do is then just close. And I know this is not glass, so it's a little harder to actually look into it. But it's on the top, and we don't want it on the top, we want it to be distributed. So what you just do is just shake, shake, shake. It doesn't really take that much to shake it, and then you already have it pretty much, fixed out in the liquid. And yeah. And it's interesting to see this because usually when I just take cinnamon, you would be able to see the cinnamon drops in the water. But I guess it seems to be easier to do with the things that are put into it. Which of course is great, It's great that it's easy to do in the water. And what you just do is just, let's see here, no? Oh, that's what I do, okay? I'm testing. There's so many lies and so much bullshit and all that, so I have to test on myself, and I've been doing that for a long time. And red meat is the best food source that I've found. If I only eat red meat, you can use some coconut oil to cook the food. It's antifungal as well. And then of course you salt and water, and you could also take some, water that has, antifungal. The thing is, if you can keep it, when you're really affected, just a little bit of sugar can. I had this itch, down below, and I found out I could totally stop it after around 20 years or so. I found out I could actually totally stop it if I just ate red meat. No sugar at all, just eating red meat. Now, but then I found out what started it. It usually had its own life. But then I found out that it was, this is one of these itchings that you just had, you were at the point of thinking to throw your head in the wall, because it could just be so, it's just terrible, absolutely terrible. But anyway, so at that point, that was before the explosion. Sadly, I ended up going off trail for a period, and that, the fungi had been fixed up here and exploded all over my body, and that's a longer story. But overall, I found out that I could control, this one symptom down below, and in regards of the itch, by just eating meat. And then I found out that eating only no sugar, I could actually pretty much nearly stop, pretty much 0 to 2. So you're going from a 10 to 8, or swinging in the area, and then getting it pretty much nearly, pretty much gone. It was pretty much, it was really nice to just, to have a break from it, to just totally, yeah. But anyway, I found out that just, like eggs, I found out that some eggs actually have a little bit of sugar in them. Butter as well. It was just enough, even if butter has really low amount of sugar. I found out that some of these things actually could promote it and actually do it, because now I had like a baseline. So I could see that, okay, nothing, okay, I can actually keep it low if I only eat red meat and all that. Um, and salt and water. But then, but of course, that sadly after the explosion, I'm not that sensitive anymore in regards of that. Sadly, because I just ended up itching all over my body and it's nipping, crawling, and all that. And that was the place where I was asking my white coat murderer for Diflucan and nystatin, and he just threw me out of the office pretty much. And he didn't want to give it to me. He wanted to give me a little bottle of nystatin, which was like a minimal, like nothing, like, and you're not going to, if I'm going to attack it, I need both local and systemic. What's the point of taking something in regards of in local when when the fungi is systemic in the body. And I didn't want to make like a cheap shot at it. I wanted everything, so I had so I really had the whole thing to just beat it down. And anyway, in the end, I did get it, but it took me months, I think. From the beginning and all that, I was really at this guy. And I'm thankfully that he in the end gave it to me. I'm really thankfully. It's the whole system that is is a criminal. I still don't understand how people can work for a criminal system like that. That they just go along with it. But I guess a whole long education and all that, right? Yeah. And you have to feed your family and blah blah blah. So you just stay in the system. It's really sad. But some doctors actually have some integrity, and when they find out it's corrupt, they do something about it, and they get fired and lose their license. And license is also another thing that the Roman Catholic maniac institution is very. Because if you are the one giving the license, you're the one that can take the license away from the person, right? Yeah. Anyway. So I hate this thing in regards of license as well. I think or paying, over and over for an application. Yeah, I just where they have this, every month you license to use the 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 thing. I don't like it. It's not. I don't think it should. I don't think it's the way that it should be done. But anyway. Candida cruzi, 20 strains, and the standard Candida albicans, Candida tropicalis, and Candida cruzi was provided by the Institute of Microbiology, Chinese Academy of Science by Beijing, China. Anyway, that was pretty much where we got to. Clinical information about 100 volunteers' intestinal fungus infected patients was obtained from the gastroenterology department. So apparently they had some gut problems. The second hospital of Hebei Medical University. Among these patients, 57 are males. And the remaining 43 are females. They can be divided into groups, 4 between 21 and 30 years old, and 16 between 31 to 40 years old, and 28 between 41 and 50 years old, and 36 between 41 and 60 years old, and 16 older than 60. The shortest course of treatment lasted a month. That was a little longer than 3 days. Okay. So they really had, the shortest course of treatment lasted a month. Oh my. The longest was for 3 years. Okay. So even if, okay. That was pretty important information. I thought that, 72 hours. Yeah, well, no. So yeah, okay. Yeah, fungus is a thing that really takes a long time to give you. First, you have to figure out it's fungus, of course. That's the first thing. And you have a lot of bullshitters out there saying, trying to lead you away that, oh no, it can be fungi and there's nothing wrong with you and blah, 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 blah. But you know something is wrong. And if you know something is wrong, you might actually, you know, trust yourself than trust the bullshitters, okay? It's incredible, these. And mistreaters, because that's what they do. Mistreatment. A lot of mistreatment. So disgusting. And it's killing people. It's murdering people. It's so disgusting to see, what people are. I'm just how people can do what they do. I don't know. It can't be the people that needs to learn all these things and point. It should be those people getting a big salary, that actually were doing the best that they could do, but they're not. Anyway, the shortest the shortest course of treatment lasts 1 month. Okay, and the greatest one lasts 3 years. Okay, so it's going to be fungus infection. Okay, yeah, and the average treatment was three. So the average treatment was 3.6 months. Okay, it's pretty important, and it's pretty important to know in regards to how long, in regards of the effectiveness, right? How long are we going to need to take it to actually get anyway, all patients had a history of using 2 to 3 kinds of antibiotics. Oh, what was antibiotics? Well, antibiotics was mycotoxins. What is mycotoxins? Mycotoxins is fungus poison. Poison from fungus. Okay. And of course, antibiotics are immune suppressant and a lot of other things which I can't remember. Anyway, for more than, and of course, you might not see the damage like from one day to another. It might take years, and apparently, it also can take years to fix if you ever get to fix it. And of course, it's better to prevent it to actually get into it, right? All patients had a history of using 2 or 3 different kinds of antibiotics for more than half of a month without any improvement. The patients were randomly divided into 2 groups. One group contained 40 patients and was treated with fluconazole, whereas the other group contained 60 patients and was treated with the experimental complex. It's interesting that they give them fluconazole because that's also working systemically. So if they're going to give them fluconazole, it's going to work in the whole body. Whereas the other group contained 60 patients and was treated with experimental complex, in regards of the cinnamon and the patchouli. Okay, that was okay. So this is a longer treatment, sadly. It's a longer treatment, sadly. Then, of course, in regards to the numbering, even if they had like even if they have the curative ratio was 71.67%. And then of course the question in regard to those improvement, how long did they actually get it? And how that would be pretty important to know. But let's not just let's just write all these things right. Anyway, yeah. So methods: MIC measurement, the MIC values of the cinnamon oil and patchouli oil complexes against 3 species of candida fungus were determined. The medium makeup was prepared using the test tube medium method. The complex was first dissolved in ethanol. It was then thoroughly mixed with high pressure sterilized glucose, peptone, agar, medium of 50 Celsius liquid state. 50 Celsius liquid state. And the mixed liquid was diluted proportional into a cinnamon oil 2.06 milligram per milliliter, patchouli 1.3 milligram per milliliter, and B, cinnamon oil 1.03 milligram per milliliter, patchouli 0.515 milligram per milliliter. Again, I think that, again, when they do all these tests in regards of all this and these numbers, it's over. I think it's overlooking the whole primary thing. But hey, they love doing all these things, right? And it's also in regards to the MIC. It's only the amount in regards of stopping the progress of the fungi. Then you have others which I can't remember what it's called, but in regards of killing the fungi and so forth. But anyway, cinnamon oil 1.03 milligram per milliliter, cinnamon oil 0.51 milligram per milliliter, C, cinnamon oil 0.515 milligram per milliliter, patchouli oil 0.257 milligram per milliliter, D, cinnamon oil 0.257 milligram per milliliter, patchouli oil 0.123 milligram per milliliter, E, cinnamon oil 0.19 milligram per milliliter, and patchouli oil 0.064 milligram per milliliter, F, cinnamon oil 0.064 milligram per milliliter, patchouli oil 0.032 milligram per liter, or G, cinnamon oil 0.032 milligram per milliliter, patchouli oil 0.016 milligram per milliliter. Okay, so we have like A, we have B, C, D, E, and F, and G. So those are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and as far as I can see, it goes lower and lower and lower in regards to the amount. I do wonder if they actually, I guess in regards to this is the mixture. So you have 2 to 1, it seems, as far as I can see, like 2 to 1 in regards of cinnamon to pogostemon. Let's see here the next one. 2 to 1. Why don't they just write that they have 2 to 1? So in this mixture they actually have a 2 to 1. So 2 times cinnamon, that would be 66.66666%, and then 33% of patchouli, pretty much. So 2 to 1, pretty much. I think it's called, right? 2 to 1. So fluconazole was proportional diluted to a concentration of 2.06 milligram per milliliter, 0.032 milligram per milliliter. Okay, so that's the range, I guess. The liquids were stored in test tubes and placed on a slant. What else? Slant? I don't know. But placed on something, I guess. And the agar, I think, also is the. They have these small round things that they do the things. Anyway, to prepare the fungus strain inoculation, to inoculate, right? The appropriate amount of activated fungus strains were added into 0.85% sodium chloride solution, and the concentration of fungus in the suspension liquid was adjusted to 1 times 10 in the fifth minus 1 times 10 in the sixth SFU per milliliter. Whatever. By using a hemocyte counting board, a volume of 100 microliter fungus suspension was inoculated into each test tube medium. 2 test tubes were made for each concentration. In addition, 10% ethanol, glucose, peptone, agar medium was used for comparison, and glucose, peptone, Agar medium was used for the blank control. All tubes were kept at a constant temperature of 36 degrees. I guess, what is the body's temperature? 37 or 36? I guess maybe 36. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, 36 degrees. Or maybe the body's temperature is 27. I can't remember. Anyway. The growth was examined and recorded daily, and the final results were measured after 96 hours. So I guess the testing seems to be only like 3 days in regards of the effectiveness against the fungi. But then again, these patients are, going for, some of them going for a very long time. The longest was for 3 years. That's a long time. But yeah, the same thing in regards of cinnamon. There's a website on cinnamon that they sell pretty much only the so-called real cinnamon. And they also talk about that if you had the fungal infection so and so long, you need to divide in regards to how long you actually need to be on the cinnamon oil to kill it. So it's a thing where it's not something that just fixes itself from one day to another. You have to stay on a diet without too much sugar. You have to stay away from alcohol. You shouldn't take antibiotics, and probably not a good idea to smoke either. So, because there can be mycotoxins in the tobacco that you could inhale. So maybe it's the same thing in regards of inhaling mycotoxins, the same as inhaling the essential oils, that it's more absorbent or something like that. I'm not sure, but who knows? It might be able to be more damaging if you suck the mycotoxins in by the air. I'm just thinking in regards to, and then you have the phenols or whatever they're called in the essential oil, which I was something in regards to being 10 times. Anyway. Of course, it's nice to know all the details and the truth and all that. I'm really blocking up in my nose. But of course, as long as it's working, the details is less of. Of course, it's nice to know the details overall, but if you never got the issue in the first hand because you just knew how to never get it, that would be the best thing, right? Then you wouldn't really need to know why. You would just need to know that this is not good. Anyway, the MIC, that would be the minimal inhibitory concentration value, was determined by comparing the growth in each tube with the negative and positive tubes. The MIC, or the minimal inhibitory concentration, terminal value was taken as the tube with the lowest drop concentration where the culture substance no longer grew. The negative and positive comparison groups were established following the same procedures as described above. Microscopic experiments. So maybe I should take a break so I can just clean my nose. I will then need to stop speaking for around 5 minutes, and it usually sorts around 5 or 10 minutes. I'll just take a break. I don't know if I can set it to pause. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? But I'll just stop speaking for 5 to 10 minutes. I'll be right back. That's a little hard. 1, 2. Well, whatever. Vitamin C. Alright. 666. Been Denki Hu and Mario Hu and Shimin and Nibo. And we also have the Vi har tilsyneladende en masse støj på lyden. Desværre. Jeg ved ikke rigtig, hvad jeg kan gøre ved det. Men jeg kan prøve at starte den op igen. Det har jeg ikke oplevet før, at der skulle være noget. Men der er altid et eller andet galt. Og jeg er ved at være så træt af det selvfølgelig. Simpelthen. Så jeg prøver at stoppe den, og så prøver jeg at lave en ny. Og så se om det bliver bedre. Hvor er det træt. Jeg er så træt af det hele. Kunne tingene ikke bare virke?